Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining our webinar titled Last Minute Tips for a Great Black Friday. Peach Payments is hosting this webinar in collaboration with Version 8 Media to help businesses make the most of this Black Friday. Over the last few years, Black Friday has grown to be the biggest shopping event of the year, and it's predicted that this Black Friday will be the biggest one yet. We want your business to capitalize on this event. That's why we helped Gilbert Kumpukwe from Version 8 Media to talk you through the most important steps to make the most of this shopping event. Gilbert is the General Manager and Head of Performance and Strategy at Version 8 Media. He has generated over 100 million Rand in sales revenue in 2020 across multiple e-commerce brands. He was a speaker at the Small Business Expo in 2018 and MarkX in 2019. He's also a guest lecturer at the Digital School of Marketing and a contributing author to SME South Africa. So just some basic housekeeping. Please remember, if you have any questions, to post it in the Q&A section below. This webinar is being recorded and we will share it in coming days. Also, please remember that you can send us your Black Friday specials and we might advertise them on our social media channels for free. All you need to do is send a photo of your product and the relevant discount that you are applying to marketing@peachpayments.com, and we'll be in touch about turning those into ads for you. Once again, thank you everyone for joining, and I'd like to hand over to Gilbert now.
Thank you for having me. Hope everyone can hear me. Everything is good. I hope everyone is doing well. And yeah, it's great to be on the webinar today. I certainly hope that we'll get a lot of value from today's session. And before I begin, let me make sure I'm sharing my screen so that everyone can see. All right, give me a thumbs up if you can see that, right? Hope everything is all right. Excellent. All right, cool. Thank you for having us. And yeah, thank you very much for Peach Payments for allowing us to share this specific webinar. They came to us and said, hey, we need some Black Friday tips, and we knew that we could still add a lot of value, even though we are in November and Black Friday probably has already, has started, not probably. And I'm sure you've all seen Black Friday ads running everywhere at the moment. So hopefully this will add a lot of value. If you haven't necessarily already executed on anything and you're still thinking about what exactly to do, hopefully after today, it'll be actionable enough for you to go and start your Black Friday success strategy. And yeah, at the end, I'll obviously take questions as well, but I'm looking forward to engaging with everyone in today's webinar. So without further ado, I think I'm going to go straight into it. Thank you again for the introduction. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, today we'll be obviously going through the Black Friday social commerce strategy as a version 8. We're a e-commerce marketing strategy, and we specialize in running paid social media ads to help brands like yourselves generate hopefully exponential revenue when you use us. And of course, we've partnered with Peach Payments, which is very exciting, and would love to see where the partnership goes. But yeah, without further ado, let me get straight into it, ladies and gentlemen. So opportunity does not waste time with those who are unprepared. And hopefully after today's session, everyone will be indeed prepared and take that opportunity with both hands. Just a little bit about, yeah, Black Friday online sales. Always love to show this metric because it always, constantly keeps people upbeat and excited about the fact that they're in a booming industry in terms of e-commerce and online advertising. And you'll see here over time, as we can see through this data source, that online sales have indeed increased, estimated now at $9 billion in 2020 from a mere 1.9 back in 2013. So I think we can all be, quite excited about the fact that this is definitely a booming industry. And I think if you get things right, you can most certainly capitalize on the markets that are out there. So, I mean, something we always, talk a lot about is targeting. And, once you really learn to improve your targeting, especially if you're running paid ads, It's also got to do a lot with segmenting your customers based on their shopping behavior and more properties to improve conversions with well-targeted personalized emails and texts and advertising. So it's something that we always constantly hone on in terms of making sure that you also know who you are actually talking to. And so that's really when, you can capitalize on this industry that is booming at the current stage. But yeah, just a bit background there in terms of online sales that are currently seeming to be non-stopping in terms of growth. Now, this slide specifically, one of the reason I wanted to show this to everyone is purely because of the fact that the reality of running paid social media ads and in general just ads, whether it's Google or social media, this is sort of the reality of having ads out there during a time like this, during a time where more brands are spending more money to get in front of a finite amount of audience, right? So you gotta look at it like this: is that there's only a finite amount of attention that you can actually get, right? The population will still be, in, let's say in your industry, estimated maybe 4 million or 5 million, but competitors, advertisers will keep rising. And as advertisers keep rising, that audience size, especially if you're very specific, especially if you are addressing a specific audience, yeah, the narrower you get, the more competitive your audience becomes. And so with more advertisers constantly going into advertising, especially with Facebook ads, because there's just such a low barrier to entry, to be honest, you can run a Facebook ad for 50 Rand a day, 30 Rand a day. And because there's such a low barrier to entry, more and more of the competition is coming in. And this is what we typically see, just around about those dates of Black Friday, we see that the amount that it costs you to get 1,000 impressions, i.e. 1,000 times your ad gets seen in a particular time period, has gone up. You'll see here, it's where actually the mouse is. You'll see there the cost per 1,000 impressions, 1,000 times your ad is shown, would be just over, let's say seven. I mean, there's about $7, but during Black Friday, for your ad to get shown 1,000 times, it's hovering around 13, close to $15 in terms of the cost that you'll be paying to get your ad seen and 1,000 impressions on your ads. And so it becomes very competitive. And this is why it's important to have pre-planning. This is why it's important to get ahead beforehand. During the times where the CPMs were low, during the times where cost per acquisition of a customer was low, because over time, costs just increase. And so this specific webinar is going to assist you. And yes, we're a little bit behind already because we're in November. However, there'll be some practical things that you can do now to help decrease your costs to market your goods specifically. And I'm not going to say advertising because it's not just purely around running ads. It's about email, it's about SMS, it's about building your database, and obviously utilizing all of that. So just to give you some screenshots of growth metrics that we've seen for some of our clients. This is a growth metric from January up until recent October. You're looking at October, now November months, 42% growth in total sales of 2.9 million. Total sales of, again, 2.9 million with a 58% growth. And you'll see there from January, these are brands that have been constantly doing marketing since the beginning of the year. They've been constantly upscaling their ad spend. They've been constantly improving, making tweaks and optimizations. And essentially, this is where you get brands that are growing 47% across the year. This is brands where you're growing 73% across the year. And so what's happening is that this is obviously a combination of different elements in their marketing, but essentially it's also the combination, and I think the result of an industry that is booming and things that are actually possible that could happen for any brand out there. But the success of Black Friday for clients like that is all started back in September and before, as I showed you. Like, this is a graph that constantly ticks up, but it's constantly, improving and constantly making optimizations. And they had pre-planned things before, and right now in November, they're now executing on all the data that they've gathered over time, over January up until now. However, it's not to say that you can't grow 73% this month. It's not to say that you can't grow, 150% this month. But there is a way to do that. And we're already in week 2 of November. So what we'll do is we'll look at week 2, and then we'll look at it on a week by week in terms of execution. So when it comes down to just breaking down the month and a November strategy, if you will, one of the things that we look at when it comes to Black Friday prep is, 1, we need to have great offers, all right? 2, you need to communicate with your audience. 3, you need to be building your direct marketing channel. 4, you need to be looking at SMS and emails. Until you're blue in the face, you need to be doing that until you are blue in the face, okay? Retargeting, retargeting, retargeting. And don't be scared to spend money, because most likely your competitors already are, given that there's a finite, like I said, there's always a finite target audience that you always have in a given market. And so everybody's just constantly trying to get into that, and it makes it more competitive, which means you're going to have to spend more because the costs to advertise have also gone up. But essentially, in a nutshell, this is what we're going to be breaking down. And I'll start off with just great offers. When it comes to Black Friday, it really is all about the great offers. And so you really got to think about, okay, what am I bringing to the table? What offer am I bringing? I will say this, is that what we consider a great offer is minimum 35% off products, minimum 35% in savings. Great if you can do 70%, if you can do 80%, because you must remember, consumers are expecting that. Consumers are expecting big savings. And it's not because merely just the fact that, everybody else is doing it, but they've been kind of like conditioned to expect huge savings. And that's why there's such a big day around it. There's such a big week around it. It's once a year. So they expect that I've waited this whole year for this one period in time. I expect to see great savings. I expect to see that my wait was worth the while. And so if we're looking at great offers, 35% minimum is ideally what we would consider a great offer. If you can't, try bundle your products to improve your margins. Again, every business is different. Some businesses only have a 5% margin on their product. Some businesses have a 45% margin on their product. So they can obviously increase their discount, the discount threshold. And it's essentially a case whereby it does depend on businesses. However, you need to think about these things. Ideally, if it's a brand that has low margins, then maybe look at seeing, okay, of the products that I do have, potentially which ones have I failed to move? Which ones have I failed to get rid of stock? Perhaps those ones I can market as 60%, 70% off, right? Because those are the products that you failed to move in the first place, and you don't mind losing a bit of money here and there. But also you must understand is that Black Friday isn't necessarily just about how much profit can I make. Yes, we're in the business of making money and making profit, but you also got to understand that Black Friday can also be seen as a way of acquiring customers at the lowest cost possible, right? So look at it as, this Black Friday, I want to acquire as many customers as possible at the lowest cost. Hence, I will happily bring in a great offer to do that. Okay. And once you get that understanding, then you might look at things a little bit differently, as opposed to just profit maximization. Because, there's always the saying that we say is that you only really make profit after the second, third, maybe fourth purchase, because there's so much cost that goes into acquiring that first customer in the first place. So you only really make profit down the line. And it's a case of, okay, if I take this opportunity to acquire customers, I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring into the market 70% off, and I'm going to get as many customers as I can. And then I'm going to focus on the back end marketing, which I'll also touch into. All right. So yeah, you essentially want to inflate your prices a bit, a small percentage, to make the discount also look a little bit bigger if you have to. This still works. Or maybe you might just want to look at potentially adding maybe added bundles or added value. I always say this, I don't see a lot of e-commerce business owners selling a physical product and a digital product with it. Yeah, we've got a client who has an amazing ebook, and it's for parents, newborn mothers that just have given birth and they have a new child. And this book is probably worth, I think she mentioned 300, 400 Rand. And we've always said, why wouldn't you sell this book as well on top of the physical product? So your physical product might sell for 1,000 Rand, upsell them on a book, which is going to be of value to a newborn mom for 299. That way you've increased the average basket size, but then you've also added value further to that specific product and the order that they're about to purchase. So look at maybe looking at, in terms of also a bundle, if you've got an ebook, right? Why don't you bundle physical product and your ebook together? Right, that's already in itself an offer that you can make to the market, or you can just make that specific ebook as an added value based off of the product that they're buying, if you wanted to make your product seem more valuable than what it really is. And that's just some ways of improving the offering that you might provide to the market. So a bundle offer, just as an example, is something like this. A 3-pack, get 30% off. If you buy a 2-pack, then you get 10% off. But it's essentially just bundle and save. And if you had an ebook with this, that makes it even more valuable, right? It makes the product look more valuable if it's something that can be added to the product in the form of a digital. And the nice thing about digital products is that, well, there's no real overhead cost on it. It's not a physical product as well, so it doesn't cost you as much to essentially deliver it to them because it's a digital product. So when it comes to build up offers as well, I wanted to just give you an example of an ad that is running at the moment. And you can see here, this is a build up offer. And this is, again, a Black Friday offer where it's 35 to 65% savings on rings. And they're calling it their biggest sale ever. You got a code. They've also got limited to 50 customers only. So they're using urgency. And essentially, these are their build up discounts, as you will. And basically, it's a case of trying to look at, okay, cool, how can I position my offer? But also scarcity in your offers, right? Like here, they literally say 50 customers only. So you know that you're going to have to act, otherwise you'll miss out on possibly saving 65%. But this would then be a great offer because, like we said, we look minimum 35% and above. When you're looking at your offer, it can't be an offer that I could have gotten any other day of the year. All right. It can't be a 10%. 10% is already what we consider like a commonplace for a first-time purchase offer when someone does purchase on your store. It can't be a 20% because that's something that I could get any given time of the year. So it technically needs to be somewhere, something that that you haven't offered before. If you normally offer 20% or max 30%, then this time around, do a 40% or do a 50%, because then also your customers will actually believe that, oh, they're actually offering me something worthwhile because it's bigger than what I'm used to, the 20% that I normally get. So this is just an example of a great offer ad, if you will, that's currently running. And they have a code for up to 50 customers only. Now, when it comes to ads and the ads themselves, what we also want to mention and highlight a couple of elements is that where we are, as I mentioned, we're in week 2 already. So ideally what you want to be doing right now is start running your build up to Black Friday ads now in week 2 to build interest and awareness. In week 3 from now, which is next week, you want to start teasing audiences with more details of the offer, the items, the time frame that you're going to have. So again, it may be this week you're just running the awareness ads that you are going to be having Black Friday. Next week, you start running ads that are actually revealing how much of a discount you're going to be running. And then in week 4, that's when it's the week of actually Black Friday. That's when you launch your deals. Plus you tease people for hopefully what everyone has also thought about already, Cyber Monday. All right, that's that 1 day only deal. And I'll get to that as well. But then week 5, you will launch your Cyber Monday deals, the 1 day only deals. And from now as well, up until the rest of up until Black Friday, you also want to focus on growing your database or list of people you can prime into buying your product. So let's break this down. So Black Friday ad examples, right? This is what a week 2 would look like. Give you examples. This is a brand. This Black Friday, save big, add your favorite artwork to your cart now to reserve your magnificent artwork, limited stock. Get notified immediately once we go live, so don't miss out. And then proudly art pieces. Now the strategy here is to get people adding to cart, because you want people to have that next level of commitment. And the next best thing is getting people to at least add to cart, right? What that does as well is when you're running social media ads, it will populate your pixel. So there's a Facebook as a pixel. For those that maybe don't know, Facebook as a pixel, and that pixel is installed on your website, and that pixel tracks data. So it's going to be able to track when someone adds to cart. There's a reason specifically for this, is because you want the people that are adding to cart. One, it makes it easier for you then to remarket to them on social media. But two, it also allows you to run ads specifically for them that have obviously added specific items to their cart. And it makes it easier for the customer to come back to the store. As we've all experienced it. You go to a site, you put things in your cart, then you abandon. But I mean, if you come back again, it's obviously saved unless you've deleted all your cookies in history, but your cart is saved there, and you simply just click on the cart and check out. So you also want to make it easy for them to do that. When you show them the remarketing ads, the steps are now, you don't have to still add to cart. You've already done that. You're just trying to proceed to checkout. So we also want to remove the friction points of when someone actually makes an order. And this is just another example of get wish listing. You can also term it as get wish listing. We're having savings, and essentially it's create your wish list by adding your favorite items to your cart and save when you check out on Black Friday, 22 to 30 November. Hurry, limited artwork available. All right. And this is, again, Black Friday deals coming soon. This is the type of thing that you should be running already. Okay. Week 3 can look something like this. Just announced up to 70% off site-wide this Black Friday. Get notified immediately once we go live, so don't miss out. Stock is limited, so make sure you've added your items to your cart and are ready to check out on Black Friday. And then there's a little bit more info. And then get 70% off. Black Friday's flash sale coming soon. Don't spend all your money yet. These, again, you must also be methodological with your ads. You must remember to give them the steps that they need to take in order for you to achieve the objective you want. We always say, don't ever assume people know what to do. And it's the same case here. Don't assume people know that you want them to add to cart. Tell them, here's what you need to do. Add your selected products to your cart. Remember, it's Christmas soon. This is just a different example. Abandon the cart. Come back 29th to check out with our flash sale discount. Get your meaty delicious savings here. Tell them what they need to do. You're going to be much more effective with your advertising than if you didn't. In week 4, well, that's when you go live with your ads. And that's when you go and launch your Black Friday deals. And you might have something like live Black Friday 2020 deals now on. This is obviously just examples. Don't miss awesome deals on camera lenses. Today only, hurry while stocks last, Black Friday, we're alive. And this is when you now constantly are bombarding all the people that you've gotten to add to cart. You're showing them all these retargeting ads, these remarketing ads. I'm sure we've all seen them. And that's when you focus in heavily on your remarketing campaigns, is during that week of Black Friday. And obviously you can do that because you've now gathered the data from week 2, getting people adding to cart. And essentially then you can remarket to them in the week of your Black Friday. This is just a Cyber Monday ad example. So you go live on Cyber Monday, it's a sale today only, 50% off, for example. And, I just put that there because it was a nice ad, but I just wanted to show you that essentially then that would run on your Cyber Monday. Something again to mention is it's important that you schedule these things in advance. So these platforms, because it's going to be so competitive and the newsfeed is going to be busy, ideally you want to start scheduling these ads. So your week 5 ads should have already been scheduled, not live, just scheduled, prepared, put together so that they go live on that Monday, because there's always a review process, right? And Facebook needs to review the ads to make sure it complies with policy. And it normally takes less than 24 hours, but we've noticed that during the busier times where there's a lot of advertisers trying to get their ads live, it can take longer than 24 hours. So basically you don't want to set up ads the day before. You actually want to do it at least 2, 3, 4 days in advance and just schedule it so that it automatically goes live on that Monday and you're not still trying to hit publish on Monday morning. Otherwise you'll be disappointed. All right, so number 2, crucial and important, you need to be communicating with your audience. You need to be communicating with your audience about your Black Friday deals or Cyber Monday deals. What does that look like? So I say whoever gets to their wallets first wins. This is why it's so important to start doing the pre-launching, to start doing the pre-campaigns, because right now they're already seeing other brands prompting them to get excited about the Black Friday deal. So their mindsets are like, oh wow, there's going to be 50% off those shoes there at that brand. My mind's already there. Like I'm taking, I like that deal. I can't wait for Black Friday because I'm going to go shop there, right? And they haven't heard anything from you yet, right? So they're already sold on what they were seeing, and they've already probably saved their money to go buy that specific brand's product. So if you're nowhere to be seen, then essentially you also won't win. And you also want to allow them to save money for you by informing your audience about the Black Friday plans and the deals and what you're going to have on offer. And that's going to all be done by email, by SMS, by social media posts and ads. You just want to get them into that mind frame that you are a brand that is going to have these great savings and they should spend with you. They shouldn't go anywhere else, but you need to tell them that you're going to have these deals if you want them to come to you first and make sure it's an irresistible offer. You can also do, some brands do like smaller discounts building up to Black Friday. So that's just one strategy that I was showing you. But if you wanted to, you could possibly start deals this week and maybe build them up. Maybe you start off with, we've gone live with pre-Black Friday deals. This week get 10% off, or this week get 15% off. And maybe if you wanted to take it up to 65%, then on Black Friday it will be 65% off. But you can use this week to start it off at maybe 10 or 15%. Then next week you go up to 30%. Then the last week you go up to 60%. So you could do that as well. And that's just a smaller build up to the discounts into Black Friday as well. And then essentially, the main deals that you run Friday to Monday, you obviously not forget about Cyber Monday, but alternatively, the whole week from the Monday, you'll be just properly advertising your deals throughout. So it'll be Monday to Monday for that week of Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Building a direct marketing channel is the third thing you need to consider. Now, this is actually very important. So whether you run ads, whether you're running ads or not, I think this is regardless of just running ads. This is what I would like to almost say like the holy grail of where brands actually make, profit from. This is where you really profit from your marketing. This is where you really profit from the customer base and the database that you've built up over time. So when it comes to the reason why I say it's also important is because the direct marketing channel allows you to, regardless of whatever's happening on other platforms, right? So there'll always be changes to different platforms. Some algorithm, some update can happen. And one day your ads are doing so well, the next day they just tank, right? And iOS, I don't know if you all heard about the iOS update, iOS 14, we call it, that happened earlier on this year on April with Facebook. And that iOS update has caused a lot of headaches for marketers. And some brands have just, reported that they've seen massive dips in sales. And it's because they rely on, these platforms. And as much as we advocate for them, for Facebook and Instagram as our social media channels, yes, they definitely do bring in results. However, we always say it is, at the end of the day, rented land. You don't own Google, you don't own Facebook, you just market on these channels. And that's why it's important to have your own direct marketing channel so that you can directly do your promotions regardless of what is happening on these other platforms and still make sales. Typically, e-commerce clients that are with us, when they do email marketing, for example, they generate about 20 to 30% of revenue every single month from their email marketing. They generate about 20 to 30% as well from their automations marketing that they do, the abandoned cart emails that, I'm sure it's one of at least, some of you have already interacted with when you leave something in the cart. That's the back end stuff, the non-sexy stuff where you have to write out the mails, and but it's crucial and it's important, and it's just a way of saying you can still be generating sales without necessarily having to rely so heavily on different platforms. But nonetheless, that's the importance of direct marketing channel. So number 3, you want to focus on increasing your database and prime them for your Black Friday deals with teasers. You want to run potentially subscriber ads up until the launch of your deals. You want to add a pop-up mentioning that you're going to have Black Friday deals to capture visitors. Advertising platforms will have higher than normal costs to advertise, and that's why it's important to look at your direct marketing channel, which will probably cost you a third, if not less, to get in front of your ideal customer. What do I mean by a subscriber ad? This is what I mean. This is something that hopefully you can probably set up today as well. Subscribe today and get exclusive offers, plus Black Friday deals before we go live on the 26th November. And then join our list of enthusiasts that appreciate timepieces and our first to know offers. Elegant Watches brings you top quality, innovative, sophisticated timepieces to ramp up your style. And then at the bottom there, literally say subscribe and get Black Friday deals first. This is what you want to focus on, because now you want to build that database. You want to build a direct marketing channel where, again, if anything had to happen on the rented land you're on, you always got a place to go to where you can still generate sales and revenue from the database that you've grown over time. A web subscriber lead. So that's literally just having a pop-up on your website like this that just mentions that you're gonna have Black Friday, sale is coming soon. You want to get people to sign up or to create an account if that's what you want, but ideally you want them to gain access to your deals, and therefore you're prompting them to give you their details, but make sure that also I would have done something a little bit different where I'll literally maybe say, again, in that week, maybe 2 or 3, just mention what offers on the table. People are always gonna be like, okay, cool, I can sign up, but is it worth signing up to, and this is where you want to make sure that they know, no, it's worth it. It's 60% or 50%. So, we've never done that before. And they know that they're going to get a good deal at the end of the day. So number 4, SMS and emails till you are blue in the face. Okay, I say that, but I'm just trying to emphasize how important it is. So when it comes to SMS and emails, passive marketing will get you passive results. You've grown your database, now leverage it. Ad costs will be high. I keep saying that. This will help keep your CPAs down when it comes to acquiring those those phone numbers and the emails, because now you're not just doing email, but you're also doing SMS, and you're trying that out. Again, they're both direct marketing channels. Strategy wise, recommended you can do 1 to 2 emails per week, building up to the Black Friday. 1 email every single day of the week of Black Friday if you wanted to. Now that also just depends on how warm your audience is. So you don't want to be in a position where you're constantly sending out mails and your mails aren't even getting opened. Your mails aren't getting good click-through rates and open rates. And depending on what you use, so a platform we recommend actually is OmniSend. But a lot of the email service, platforms will show you your open rates and your click-through rates, and so most of them also have benchmarks embedded on them to see how well you're doing. So if it's a new list, let's say you're just starting out and you're still growing your database, I actually wouldn't necessarily recommend one a day, because of the fact that you still need to test and see how receptive that audience that you've built is going to be to your email marketing. Maybe you'll find that twice a week is enough for them, or 3 times a week. But again, just in the early stages, if you're doing this now, just still building up a new audience, that new audience, possibly don't do it every single day. You can do every single day to your customer, your current database. Let's say you've had that for over a year. You can do that definitely. And I think they'll be more receptive to seeing it every day. However, some might fall off and drop off if they're being overwhelmed and they just joined your list. So just do be careful. It is important that you also try and segment your audiences. And then 1 SMS per week building up to Black Friday. Don't forget SMS. I know everyone thinks, oh, SMS, who opens that? But we've seen, one of our clients, especially last year, they did SMS. They generated at least 40% of revenue from SMS marketing, and I think 30 from email. So it does have an impact. And I think it's the fact that people believe, oh, SMS, is that really going to have an effect? It's that belief that actually makes it effective, because there's less people doing it. So yeah, you essentially want to look at doing that and incorporating it into your marketing. And also it just gives you more channel, or omni-channel, SMS, email, social. You want to be on every single platform. What does an SMS and email week look like? So week 2, which is now, you're launching your pre-Black Friday teasers, right? And so the goal is to obviously introduce Black Friday and get people adding to cart or your wish list, highlighting that there's going to be a Black Friday and what categories will be on sale. Then what you want to do is Thursday, 11 November, you may want to look at launching pre-Black Friday teasers. Again, you're sending out another mail if you don't want to do it every single day. Introduce Black Friday, plus get people adding to cart, to your wish list, highlighting that there's going to be a Black Friday and what categories will be on sale. Again, just constantly emailing. Week 3, which is next week, Monday the 15th, you want to launch your pre-Black Friday teasers again. The goal is to now reveal the savings on offers, plus the products, items selling. Again, this all just depends on you. Like, what products are you going to have? Are you going to have those ones that I mentioned where, because you haven't been able to sell most of them, you want to put those ones on 70% off, but maybe other items you can only do 20%. So your best selling products, you can only go 20%. So again, that email depends on what you're able to actually offer. And so you might find that selected products are up to 70% off, take 30% off our main sellers or something like that. So you just want to reveal the actual offers and the discounts. Then on Thursday the 18th, you want to then do another one, pre-Black Friday, goal, hype, and keep excitement for the deals. You want to do a time sensitive reminder. So, you want to send it on that late afternoon on a Thursday and time it so that in less than 72 hours, we're launching our Black Friday deals. Are you ready? And then maybe you want to incorporate SMS marketing. And that's something that maybe you can schedule maybe 24 hours before you actually launch your Black Friday deals. And again, you just say less than 24 hours to go. So they've got that email already that said 72 hours before, and then they'll get an SMS that says less than 24 hours before Black Friday deals, limited stock, don't miss out. Week 4 hits Monday, 23rd November, you go live. I mean, the goal is to just make money. So literally go live with your ads. And then on Friday, the 26th November, you want to do another time sensitive mail. And this one is already thinking about Cyber Monday. So it's Black Friday deals are still on and they're still happening. However, limited time left ends this weekend. And you also want to then do a Black Friday SMS. Okay. But by this time, you're also thinking already about Cyber Monday. So you're doing a time sensitive one, just to mention that, the deal ends this weekend. Time sensitivity, the point is to create, tension in people's decision making. It's been shown that the only time people actually make a decision is when they're feeling tense. And how do you make people feel tense? You put a restriction, whether it's a time restriction or a quantity restriction. So ideally, that's always the point. Like, you set it again on Friday and you tell them ends this weekend, right? And then you also have you also have an SMS on the same day, ends this weekend. All right. Then in week 5, Cyber Monday goes. Cyber Monday deals now on, save up to X amount that you're going to obviously have. One day only. If possible, I would suggest 7 hours before Cyber Monday ends. You send a second mailer, time sensitive, only 7 hours left. Offer ends midnight tonight. And that is essentially then, your Cyber Monday done. And after that is, Christmas and all that. But that's how essentially you would want to look at that on a sort of like a week by week basis, and how some of your emails and SMSs should be structured and go out. Email examples, just had a few here. So you've got something like this. I actually showed you the ad previously to that. You guys, if you remember, it was the flash sale one, and this one is just literally theirs. Visit our website to view the discounts now. Flash sale now on, discounted on selective grass-fed and free-range products. Limited time offer, obviously. Email automation examples. The main thing around the email automation example that I actually wanted to highlight and mention here is purely, if you do have automation set up so that when someone leaves your cart and they abandon it, and you've got the reminder emails being sent out, what I actually just wanted to highlight is ensure that you've actually updated your email banners to talk about the fact that you're having Black Friday, right? I think that's a place where a lot of people forget. And so you might want to look at your automation and say, oh, wait, let me update my banners to let people know that I'm going to be having Black Friday deals. And that's just prime real estate again. So again, if you have them now, go ahead and put that artwork together and start updating your email automation banners. Then email, this is just an example of an email campaign. This was one for Black November that is currently happening. It's specifically for Black November, and they've just got like a site-wide deal, and you can literally buy every single week and get offers and specials. And essentially, I think every single week, every single second day, they're doing something, deal of the week, and constantly just emailing their database to purchase and to use checkouts, and to obviously make those sales for them. Then number 5, I'm going to emphasize this again: retargeting. You want to target your low-hanging fruit, which is what we call bottom of the funnel audiences. Your low-hanging fruit to just the people that have engaged with you at some level, whether it was social media, they liked your images, your pages, your posts, and then they visited your website. And they bought, mainly the ones that bought, that's like your best and low-hanging fruit. There's customers that will come and buy again. And then, people who you already know and trust of your brand. You want to focus on constantly just retargeting them. Top funnel audiences. So these are your ads that are running now to obviously try and get new people interested in your brand. Those, because you're constantly trying to reach new people. But then we normally do about 50 to 60% of, when it comes to advertising, of the budget actually gets spent during the week of Black Friday, just purely on retargeting, because there's a greater chance of us making sales based off of people that trust, know, like the brand, and then we just do a lot of remarketing campaigns to them. Don't be scared to spend. As I mentioned already, it's definitely going to be competitive, and because the costs to advertise are going to go up naturally because of competition coming in. You just don't be scared to spend more, because essentially you are trying to also get that attention, and it's just supply and demand, if you will. So don't be scared to spend, and then have a great offer in front of people, and essentially you can probably offset that advertising costs. So work out what will give you a profitable ROAS, or return on ad spend. So again, it's just looking, okay, I spent 10,000 Rand on ads. How much, did I get back? At least 20,000 Rand back, because that's a 2 ROAS. Yeah. So again, it depends on the business, but essentially if you're doing 10,000 ad spend and you're getting 10,000 back, you're just breaking even. So ideally you want something above, 1, 1.3, 1.4, 2, 3, 4, 5 X ROAS. As long as the ROAS is being reached, keep spending, keep pumping more money into it. And then increase budgets daily by about 10% if ROAS remains positive. So what we mean is if you start spending and you're seeing, results, and actually this is at any given time of the year as well, whether it's Google or Facebook, the thing is you can't go into these platforms and say, okay, I'm going to go spend 20% more now today or 30% more the next day. Can't do that, because what happens is it messes with what we call the algorithm, and the algorithm now has to learn or relearn how to go from getting you the results it's getting you at 100 Rand per day to now getting you the same results at 300 Rand per day. It's machine learning that unfortunately it can easily triple your cost to advertise purely if you go from 100 Rand to 300 Rand increase. Okay, so we always say increase incrementally if your ROAS is obviously positive. Okay, so kind of like to just go over everything and sum it up real quick. Ideally, you want to make sure, if you look at a checklist, you want to make sure that you've got a great offer, minimum 35% off for some bundle deal. You want to be running your pre-launch or launch ads to drive awareness and interest. Those already should be set up. You want to have a website pop up about Black Friday deals in order to capture emails. You want to run subscriber ads to grow your database quickly. You want to also have the mailers, the pre-launch and the launch mailers set up. You want to have updated email headers, including in your automations. And you want to ensure that you have your retargeting ads spending 50, 60, 70% of your budget just constantly remarketing to people that have at least added to cart and shown some sort of interest. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of my presentation. I do hope you enjoyed it and found value from it. And of course, I hope you all have a great Black Friday.
Oh, Gilbert, thank you so much. That was great. That was really great. I think there's some very valuable things there for businesses to know about their businesses. Guys, we have opened up the Q&A session, so feel free to ask any questions you may have there. Gilbert, before we get to the questions, we've also received some via our social media channels, so
Yeah.
I'll ask those there as well. But before we carry on, I think the question I had was when I was listening to you is regarding SMS and email marketing. When would you use something like WhatsApp in conjunction with SMS and email marketing, and how would you go about using all three together, perhaps?
Yeah. Look, I think that's also a good question. I know WhatsApp for Business is something that I think we've also come to use now regularly in South Africa as well. You could potentially use all three. So I think, you've actually raised a good point there. It's really, again, if you use WhatsApp for Business and you've got a database where you can WhatsApp, then SMS, WhatsApp, email, they can all launch at the same time. I think it's just, again, a case of if you also have that database on WhatsApp to actually market to. And so if it's something that is possible for any business, when I was talking in the SMS section, when I say literally send out SMSs, you might as well just also look at that as WhatsApp messages, if you will, and you can execute all at the same time. But I think maybe test it out and say, okay, cool, I'm going to do SMS, but maybe the next day I'll do WhatsApp as opposed to doing SMS and WhatsApp on the same day. And I was like, okay, I just got an SMS. Now I'm also getting a WhatsApp, just not to, kind of like get people a little frustrated. So I think, again, just it's worth testing out. Maybe do SMS and then the next day do WhatsApp. And then you've obviously also got email going out. So I like that idea in terms of, using WhatsApp as another form of direct marketing. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then William just picked up, William, who's joined the call, picked up there's a little bit of timing discrepancy. in the email marketing schedule. So I think we can take a look at that a bit later. But let me get to the questions that came in, Gilbert, on our social media. So the one question is, my new customers have told me that they are wary of my site, and this person can't afford to afford a professional designer. How do I build trust online?
So I think first and foremost, you're going to have to look at trust badges. That again, if people are wary of your site, it's probably possibly lacking reviews in terms of the products, right? So maybe you lack product reviews of specific products, but also at the same time, maybe people feel that if they were to add the information on the site, maybe the site's not secure. So you may want to look at adding in trust badges around SSL security. If you're a Shopify store, you want to ensure that you've got a Shopify secure badge on the site, and making sure that, you know, whatever platform you use, whatever software you use to secure your site, you want to ensure that that is visible on somewhere on your site, maybe on the home page, maybe just below the fold. Just if it's a prominent issue and you know that this is the main reason why people don't want to buy from me, I think it's just a case of having trust badges to show people that you know, this is a site that can be trusted. I think that that question also, you know, is kind of like, it needs to address two aspects. There's aesthetic look and feel. I don't know if it's because of that, or it's purely because of the fact that, you know, it's a new brand and maybe it's a new product and nobody knows about it, and, you know, they still need to be building trust around the brand itself. But if it's an aesthetic feel and you can't afford somebody, get a virtual assistant. You can probably find them like Fiverr, and I think they'll be more reasonable than trying to get a professional designer, and they do great work as well. So if it's around the aesthetic look and feel, you can definitely get a virtual assistant to assist you in terms of a freelancer who can build out websites for you, on a freelancer.com, or even on LinkedIn. Hit up you know, one of the experts on LinkedIn who are freelancing, and get them to do some work for you around your aesthetic look and feel. But I think if you incorporate a lot of trust badges, if you make sure that you got reviews, and also maybe your guarantee. So making sure that if you do have a guarantee, say a 30-day, you know, return free policy, again, that all that reinforces you know, credibility, and the fact that, you know, if I do invest money here, I can potentially get that money back, or whatever the case may be, if I'm unhappy.
Okay, great. Some great suggestions there. And then a question a lot of businesses ask themselves is, do I advertise on TikTok?
So TikTok is, I would say, yes, because, you know, we look at TikTok as a great branding exercise, as a great way of, because it's a very young community. Yeah, TikTok is like for the youngsters, the 13, the 12-year-olds, and it's also one of those where, you know, majority of the audience is, because they're young, it's not like they have a lot of disposable incomes, they're not working necessarily, and so it's a great way of brand building, and, you know, indoctrinating your brand into the younger generation, into the ones that will essentially eventually come into the job market, and they can afford your services. But the thing is, it is a great opportunity because TikTok is one of the fastest growing social media platforms at the moment. So it only makes sense to start looking at TikTok. What I would suggest is maybe start doing the organic, you know, posts and reels and videos, try and get some engagement, build awareness. And then from there, you want to start looking into the ad platform. We've tested out the ad platform. It's not as, with the time we tested about 2 months ago, it wasn't necessarily as robust as a Facebook and an Instagram dashboard in terms of reporting and insights. But I think over time it's going to mature. But I think for now, it's definitely great to just, you know, use it as a brand marketing tool and get a lot of awareness around the brand. And yeah, people have said that they're seeing a lot of traffic generation through to their site. So I think it's a great way to tap into the untapped market, or youth, if you will.
Cool. Okay, so you've got a few minutes left. So let me just ask you one more question then. So what are the essential online tools for a small business when it comes to email automation?
Cool. So we mainly recommend a tool called OmniSend. And OmniSend is pretty much a software tool that was built for e-commerce. It is meant for automations. It is meant for upselling products, cross-selling products, downselling products, abandoned carts, but also in general, you can do your own, newsletter marketing through it. The beauty of, obviously automations, as I've mentioned, is generates 20-30% additional revenue for businesses online. But as a go-to, I would definitely suggest OmniSend. It also has a built-in SMS platform. So you can then be able to link that in with all your marketing in one place. And it's just more intuitive to use. There is another tool called Klaviyo. Klaviyo is maybe a little bit more complex, so I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. However, OmniSend is pretty much your go-to tool, and that's something that we use as an agency for all our clients when we do their back-end marketing for them.
Okay, great. Okay, Gilbert, we're almost out of time. If there are any other questions, you guys are welcome to ask in the Q&A, but I want to wrap up by thanking you, Gilbert, for your time. I think you've provided us and the audience with some incredible tips about making the most of Black Friday. So thank you so much. To everyone that attended, thank you very much. Remember, we are advertising your Black Friday specials. So if you would like Peach Payments to show off your products on our website and the discounts that you've got for Black Friday, feel free to send a photo of your product along with the discount to marketing@peachpayments.com. And yeah, we'll see about advertising those for free. So trying to help small businesses out where we can. Gilbert, any last words from you before we sign off?
No, thank you for having me. I certainly hope everyone got some value out of it. I hope to see that everyone's going to go and execute on the pre-launch Black Friday deals. And yeah, good. Hope you guys enjoy your Black Friday and make a lot of sales.
Cool. Cheers, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thanks again.
Bye.